Welcome back to another episode of the Twinster Pod. Yay! Okay, so we always have a little opening jingle because that's just how we roll. So sometimes I start in the very low basement, and Lorraine always reminds me, start a little higher.
Don't do that. Yeah.
We do have a special guest, and people are like, who is that? We're going to tell you. So here we go. Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm Lorraine.
And this is the Twinster Pod.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
We know. It looks like we practiced that. We didn't.
Promises we don't. So we love our podcast, but what we love even more is having special guests on that we have met in the past, connected with, reconnected with. And we do have a special guest today. I remember him as Bobby. Now, he's grown up and he's now mature and goes by Bob. I will always probably call him Bobby Michaels. So, why don't you, Lorraine, tell us how you know Bob Michaels, and I'll share a little bit, and then we're going to let Bobby/Bob share a little bit.
Well, now our dad's name was Bob, and his mom called him Bobby, but pretty much everybody else called him Bob. So just kind of think of him like that. But he was one of the ones in our huge graduating class of 20 people. And since I've moved to Texas and Idaho, people get a kick out of that. We had 20 people in our class, and did you start in kindergarten there, Bob, or did you come later on?
No, I came in, I believe fourth grade.
Okay. Well, Amy and I started in kindergarten there. So we went in the same building, kindergarten till we graduated high school. So that's how we know Bob. He came, and I didn't remember that. I did not remember when you joined our class, but so you were with us in middle school and high school then the whole time.
Right.
But yeah, that's how we knew him, and kind of lost track of each other after high school, as people do. We see each other around, but very happy to have you on here today. Very happy. And we've seen what everybody's been doing on Facebook, but that's how I know him, Amy.
Yeah, and same. That's how I know him as well. And I think we had, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we have like our 25th-ish reunion? Didn't we all meet?
I couldn't remember the number, but yes, we did.
Does that sound right? Or maybe it was
at the golf course in Paris, was it not?
Yeah.
But I can't remember what year. I can't remember what year it is now.
I know. I think it was maybe a few years after the 25th, but yes.
Maybe it was like the 28th or something. It was sort of like a weird number, but we had gotten together the 25th. And I think that there was just a few of us, because there's only 20 in our graduating class. We had like 6 show up, I think, at the golf course for the dinner, which was a good number for us. 6 out of 20 is pretty high.
Well, Mr. Ingram was there too.
Oh, love Mr. Ingram. He was great. He was so fun. So yeah, we've been able to stay connected with Bob on Facebook, and sort of figure out what everybody's doing in life. You see people's information and pictures go through, and Bob has a beautiful wife, Amy, and she's just lovely, and we love her, and she's great, and they just are a wonderful couple together. And I always love to see what Bob shares about Amy. He always has good words to say about her, and he's just got the best heart. So, he's one of the good memories of Shiloh High School is Bob Michaels, because just a good all-around guy. And so
I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Yeah.
And I've always had mad respect for you two, because you guys you've never been fake. You are who you are. And, I know that you would like for people to like you, but that's not a prerequisite. You're not going to change who you are for people to like you. And that's what I respect about you guys. You guys have always been just wonderful people.
Thank you.
High compliment. So we thank you. We will give recognition to our mom and dad, Bob and Georgia Horsley. They're good people.
I knew your dad a little bit, and I knew your mom. Of course, she was our school nurse, so I knew her very well, especially as often as I tried to get out of class by being sick.
Hey.
So yeah,
Everyone
so
did.
and she is just an amazing woman.
And the funny thing with our mom is, Bob, she's still a school nurse and she goes around to different schools and she still works at
She
80.
still subs.
Mm-hmm.
She's subbing tomorrow in Paris.
She doesn't look that much different than she did when we were in high school, to be
Not at
honest
She
all.
with you.
doesn't.
No,
She looks fantastic. So I'm glad that her health is still there. She's
it is.
she's
She
Yes.
travels, she goes to see Lorraine, and she just, she's always on the go. The woman won't sit down, but that's okay. She stays young.
yeah, that's what keeps her going. So
It is. And so, yeah, so we get our energy and our just funness. She's so fun, so we get that definitely from her. But it's so good to connect, reconnect with you and for sure have you on our podcast. And I really want you guys both to kind of share. You can share back and forth or whatever you want to let us know, whatever, God laid on your heart to share today. But I know you guys have both been through some difficult times, most recently, some cancer journeys, and you've come through it. And so, if there is something that you want us to know specifically, I'm just going to let you take the floor, Bob, and you can share. And then, if you and Lorraine want to kind of share together, you guys can share some of your journey. But I think it's going to be super inspirational. There may be somebody going through something out there right now that you might speak to them, and they might give them hope. And so just share whatever comes to your mind and your heart, and we're here for it.
yeah, absolutely. I was diagnosed with bladder cancer. It was October of 21. And unfortunately, when I was diagnosed, I was pretty far in. I just didn't realize it. So I didn't have a lot of options. I had a resection in late October where they went in and scraped out as much of the cancer as they could. Then I went back 1 month later to have it done again, and they had regenerated plus some more. And they told me that it was a very aggressive cancer and it was too late for chemo or radiation. So at that point, I pretty much was looking at 6 months. And then,
Wow.
yeah, sure put some things into perspective for you.
Yeah.
But I, probably mostly because of my wife. I'm a very positive person typically, and I was pretty confident. I had at the time um, four grandbabies, and one that was due in January of 22. So I knew that this was not going to be the end of it for me because I still had stuff left to do. And of course, you've probably noticed I have a pretty big Facebook following, and you get your prayer warriors
Yeah.
going, and then crazy things happen.
Yeah.
And we were able to find a surgeon in Indianapolis that would um, perform life-saving surgery. Basically, he asked me how aggressive I wanted to be, and I said, well, I don't want to die. I said, beyond that, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And
Good answer.
yeah, so he ended up he removed my bladder and made me a new one out of a 12-inch section of my small intestine. And by the grace of him and by the grace of God, I live a absolutely normal life. And 3 days before my surgery, my granddaughter, my second to youngest granddaughter, was born. And so I got to see her for a few hours before we had to leave for Indianapolis for my surgery. So, yeah, that was a pretty emotional time. I stayed positive outwardly for sure, because you don't want to take other people down with you, but I was pretty positive internally as well, but not as positive as I probably looked. But then, we made it through the surgery. If it wasn't for my wife, it wouldn't have happened. I mean, there was a couple times in the hospital because I was in surgery for like 8 or 9 hours and the hospital for 7 days. And a couple of those days were pretty rough on me. The entire thing was rough on her, I'm sure of that. But I wouldn't know it, because she didn't act like it was rough on her. She's pretty tough, and we got through it, and now we're 4 years and 2 months later, and I've joined a lot of bladder cancer Facebook forums so I can give other people advice. It's a pretty specific surgery that I had, the neobladder, and there are a lot of folks out there that have a lot of questions. So I get on there and answer as many as I can, as often as I can, to just let other people know, there's not really a downside to what I did because the alternative was not fun.
Right.
So, but I'm very happy with the decision I made, and I hope other people. It's a leap because you go into that surgery, you don't always know that it's going to come out the way you want it to. So you definitely need to rely on some divine intervention there. So,
Amen.
but
Well, I want to
yeah.
hear about your wife, because you're talking about how strong she is, and I kind of remember you meeting her and just seeing all this kind of unfold on Facebook. So
Yeah.
tell us about her.
Well, when we met, obviously we're both coming out of a marriage. I'll just say that. She was
Okay.
3 years out and raising two kids by herself and doing a wonderful job of it. And then I guess I started the whole thing, because my wife's very pretty and very, she's just a nice person.
Yes.
And so I don't know, I just asked her out, and one thing led to another, and here we are. At the time we had 0 grandkids, and my daughter was um 17 or 18, and her daughter was 12 and her son was 13. And now here we are. That was in 2012, so
Yeah.
we're 14 years later, and we've piled on the grandkids like it's a job.
Yeah.
So
Heck yeah.
yeah, we actually have our 7th due in May.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and that'll be our 3rd boy, which we need the boy to even the score a little bit,
Yeah.
because not only do we have girls, we have very tough girls.
Sure.
But
Right.
Amy was raised in Oakland, played high school basketball, college basketball. Actually went to Europe for a week after high school, to in between high school and college, to play basketball in Amsterdam, I
Wow.
think. Yeah, yep. And then to explain her toughness a little bit, when she was 40, of course she's 25 now, but
Yeah.
Of
Right
course.
answer, Bob. Right answer.
right, when she was 40, she started training for a half marathon in August.
Yeah.
And by November, she ran the half marathon in Indianapolis. And she was never a
Amazing.
runner. I mean, she was athletic. She played basketball, but she was never a runner. And she trained, really hard. Now now that she's 25, her knees are paying for it a little bit. But um, yeah, and together we played dart league, and we were bowling, but I've had some shoulder issues and she's had some knee issues, so our bowling careers are about to come to an end.
Yeah.
But we throw darts together. We're actually about to start a dart league soon,
I love that.
and we're partners in that one.
Where do
Thank
you
goodness.
do that? What town do you go to do that?
Hinesboro,
In Hinesboro.
because
Okay.
we live just 7 miles north of Oakland.
Hmm.
It's funny because I've lived in, oh my goodness, Michigan and Kentucky and Missouri and Arkansas and Oklahoma and
Wow.
everything since high school. But now here I am 4 miles from where I grew up.
Yeah. And you'll probably stay there unless, all your kids and family move. So
Right. Yeah, we're not leaving the grandkids. No, no, no,
no.
no.
Heck
No.
no.
I mean, and I won't get political, but I'd love to leave Illinois, but
Yes.
I
That's
can't.
fine. I would as well.
Yeah.
I'm happy I
Well, I
don't live
mean,
there anymore. Yeah.
the Chicago Bears are leaving Illinois, so
I know. That's
And then it's so bad the Bears are leaving. Yeah.
it's bad. They're going to Indiana. I'm like,
that's right. Yes, yes.
we'll go.
But I will leave the political thing right there, though.
Yeah. No, we're with you. We're on your
Enough
page,
said.
Rob.
But
We're
no,
with you.
yeah, we're still happily married. She's does financials for a pipeline company. And then I currently work, I'm a supervisor at a garage door company.
Good for
Okay.
you.
And I'm studying to get my real estate license.
Nice.
Because
No
everybody should,
kidding.
yeah, everybody should start a new career at 50, almost 56 years old.
That's fine. It's
But,
Why not?
well, I want something that I can do into retirement
yeah.
because, nobody wants to just sit around.
No. Look at
And,
our mom. She's a good
yeah.
example of that. So yeah, you got
And
to find something else.
right. Selling real estate, something I could do. I'm not going to be lifting 100-pound bars or anything, selling real estate.
Mhm.
So I just have to have the gift of gab, and I was blessed with that. So
You're fine with that. You're perfect for that job.
Yep. Well, I got away from the cancer thing. So let's get back to that. So that way Lorraine can give us a little bit about, unless you guys got some
Well,
questions for me.
I can talk about myself anytime. It's nice to have you on here and just keep going with your story. I didn't know a lot of these details. People don't put all the gory details
Sure.
on Facebook, but
Right.
yeah, I didn't realize that they had just given you 6 months to live at one point. So wow.
I didn't put that out there at the
Yeah.
time because you don't want, you always want to keep people as positive
Oh,
as you can. And that's best
absolutely.
for me, just to keep that to myself,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
So
when you speak that negative, like this is what they're telling me, you put that out there and you didn't want that out there because that was not what you were accepting. So I
right.
understand why you didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah. They said I had 6 months, not me.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they don't get to make all the decisions,
Mm-mm.
fortunately. So
How
Yep.
is your health?
um,
Are you good now? Everything's good?
yeah, yeah. In fact, I only go back once a year to get a yearly checkup. I had a couple of I want to say scares, but they were false things, over the last
Mhm.
4 years, but nothing came to fruition, thank goodness.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
but yeah, otherwise I keep myself busy. Well, just yesterday I ran into a frozen lake for
I saw
Special
that.
Olympics. It's the worst thing I've ever done for the best reason.
Yes.
And then recently, I was asked if I would accept a nomination to be on the board for Camp New Hope, and that's something that's real close to my heart. So that was an easy um, nomination to accept, and then I was fortunate enough to get elected to the board of directors. And so now, anytime you join an organization like that, you want to have goals in mind, and mine is one, fundraising, and two, visibility, because there are still a lot of people around our area that doesn't understand what Camp New Hope does, and that's a shame. So we're
Why
going to
don't
work
you
on that.
speak about that Camp New Hope?
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, Camp New Hope. It started in 1974, and it's actually not far from Amy. It's sitting on the banks of Lake Mattoon, not far from Neoga. And like I said, it started in 1974. We have 41 acres out there, and it's basically a respite camp. So folks that have family members or people they take care of that require around the clock care and things like that, that they really, that's what they do, that's their life, they don't get a break from that.
Mhm.
And at Camp New Hope we offer an opportunity for them to bring the folks that they're taking care of out to us, and we have nurses on staff and everything else, and we have a swimming pool, we have a pontoon boat and miniature golf, and a lot of activities, and they get to be with other folks with like abilities. I don't like the word disability because
Yeah.
we all just have different abilities. I can't dunk a basketball, so if that's the case, I'm disabled.
Yeah. No, same.
But so yeah, so we all have so they get to spend time with folks with like abilities, and we have respite camps throughout the or respite weekends throughout the year for the caregivers to be able to get a break, and then we also have summer camps that are a week long, and that gives them a little bit more time to foster those relationships that they've started on the respite weekends with the folks they've been spending time with, and it's just an amazing place.
It is. I've been out there when I worked at Sarah Bush with the dental clinic. We took our dental equipment. I think our bus went out there too, and we were able to clean some teeth and, just work with the wonderful people that were there. And I love people with like abilities. They're pure in heart, and they just are the sweetest things, and they're doing great things out there at that Camp New Hope. They do give needed respite to the people who are full-time caregivers, and they do it with love and kindness, and it's a wonderful place. When you said that you were on the board, it just thrilled me because it's a wonderful place.
Yes, it absolutely is. And then Special Olympics is something I'm also pretty passionate about because, well, I mean, you're never going to meet a more dedicated athlete. You're never going to meet,
Yeah.
find better sportsmanship. They celebrate the person that got 27th as much as the person that got first.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's just, I don't know, if you can go to a Special Olympics event and not be emotional, then we're
Then you
not the
have no
same.
heart.
Yeah, we're not the same. Amy and I are actually
Agreed.
going to go to one this Sunday. There's actually a cornhole event, and Amy's
Oh,
cousin is going to be competing in that. So we're going to go to Springfield Sunday and watch him compete. And then I'm going to try to volunteer for the state games in Bloomington this year. So,
yeah, that's fun. Mom and I did that. I think when Special Olympics was at EIU, you can go around and be a buddy with them. Oh, so
yeah, I
much
did that several
fun.
times at EIU when I was working at
Hmm.
Vesuvius. So,
Yeah, so much fun. That's awesome.
Bob has a
um,
big, big heart, proven with what you involve yourself with, because you give back. And truly, Bob, that is exactly why God blessed you with health, because you're not done here serving others with your mission.
Mhm.
I will take that. I will take that, and I'm not taking the time I've been given for granted either. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, the Camp New Hope thing, Special Olympics, and then of course my grandkids.
Yeah.
That's I think I've joked with our kids that the only reason to have them is to have grandkids. So that's their sole purpose in life is to give us grandbabies. So, but yeah, and then I don't know. Pretty crazy life, from growing up. You guys know, we grew up with less than perfect circumstances,
Mhm.
and I've decided, of course, I in my teenage years I was a little rough as well, but at some point you have to decide what kind of person you want to be,
Yeah.
and so
Mhm.
I decided, I guess I am who I am in spite of how I grew up instead of because of. I hear a lot of people say, well, I didn't have a chance. I grew up rough or whatever, and that's just an excuse because at some point you make your own destination
That's true.
Yeah.
and you don't, you're not, yeah, I am who I am in spite of my upbringing instead of because of. So,
Yeah.
I actually was the mayor of Oakland for 4 years, which, you know,
I forgot about that.
yeah, had we talked about that when we were 17 or 18, that was never going to be on anybody's radar.
No,
But
that wasn't on your bingo card probably when you were
no,
18.
no. And to be honest with you, and I hope the whole world sees this, but except for one individual, because I ran because I heard that the guy that was running unopposed, and I thought, well, yeah, I've never been mayor before, but there's a lot of stuff I'd done for the first time,
Yeah,
so I
right.
gave it a shot, and I was
What the heck?
actually,
And
yeah,
everybody was like, Bob, we want you to be our mayor. And he was like, uh-oh.
I ended up winning with the largest margin of victory in a contested race in Oakland history, so that was good.
Okay.
I really enjoyed my time as mayor. You always wish that you knew what you knew at the beginning.
Mhm.
Yeah, you wish
Oh
you knew at
yeah.
the end or at the beginning what you knew at the end,
Yeah,
because that is a learning process and you never quit learning. Of course, life's that way, but
yeah,
being mayor is no different. You never quit learning. And
yeah.
I think I would be better now than I was then, but I don't want to go back and do it again. In
Yeah.
fact, we don't live in town. So that's not even a possibility, thank goodness, because they could probably talk me into it. But I've
How about
considered
running for
running.
governor?
Well, I've considered running for Douglas County Board.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
start there. Let's
Yeah,
start
let's
Work your
there.
way
Yeah.
up.
small steps. Yeah, small steps. But
That's fun.
yeah. Um, and my thing is if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
That is true.
And I never want to be part of the problem.
Mhm.
So you don't always have all the answers, but all the people that have all the answers. So you just have to surround yourself in the right people.
That is true.
And sometimes people just want to be heard too. So you probably listened to a lot of people that didn't feel like they were getting heard before, and you probably tried your best to solve the problems that they had. So that
Well,
makes a difference.
I think we do that in life anyway, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate to see anybody struggling with anything, and I've always got an ear, for anyone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Well, I work with special ed kids and kids who are specifically in behavior. And same thing. I mean, sometimes they just want to be heard, you know? So it starts little and it doesn't end. Like you're going to be a real estate agent and, you're going to have to listen to what they want to. So
yeah.
never
Well, God
ends.
willing, and I can pass all those tests. My goodness.
you'll do it.
Yeah, I'm studying pretty hard. So
You'll get it. You'll get it. And just another thing that, like, well, in 2021 it was a very different story for you, and now look at
right.
all of the things and the ways that God is using you, and like where you are and what you're doing now. It is really cool, because really you're just getting started, because we're your age, so we hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I got a new birthday, and on January 20th of
Mhm.
2022, I got a new birthday. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's a fresh start.
yeah. So cool,
So
so
y'all
cool.
might be about 56, but I'm heading toward. I'm just a little over 4 right now. So
Yeah,
Okay,
our
we'll take
birthday
that.
is next Saturday, so we'll be 56
Yeah.
next Saturday. So,
well, both of you are
Yeah.
aging much more gracefully than I am.
oh no, don't say that. We appreciate that, but
And I know that you guys are wanting to talk to the folks you have on, but just to say a couple things. Um, Amy, your Facebook page. If it wasn't, first of all, your husband is absolutely amazing. He's just a wonderful person. He's super talented.
Yeah,
Obviously,
it
got
is.
good taste in women.
thank you.
And Stanley, the whole world should meet Stanley. I mean, I've never met him in person, but oh my gosh,
He
I,
has
I
so much
just I
personality.
love the stories. Oh, yeah. And Lorraine, where your life has taken you is just you've always been one of those people that I've absolutely looked up to. I mean, all the way,
Oh,
back in when we were kids, because you were the kindest person in the world.
Still is.
Yeah,
oh,
and I know a lot of kind people, but
thank
you
you.
know, yeah, you set the bar very, very high. And I
Oh,
was so happy when you met Tim,
Mhm.
and that new part of your journey took off. And I didn't know it was
yeah.
going to take off to Texas and Idaho,
I
but
know.
We
and
didn't either. Yeah.
Tell me.
and I would ask that sometime when you're back in the area, you reach out and we go have dinner or something, because I would love to
Okay.
meet Tim and obviously love to see you again. So,
Okay. That
and
sounds good.
I
I would
mean,
love
I
that.
know we graduated roughly 112 years ago, but
Yeah.
has
113-ish. Yeah.
yeah, has anybody heard anything about any possible reunions or anything?
No, I
I
mean,
think we're gonna have to do it if
we would have to
if
organize
anybody
it.
plans it.
We
Yeah,
really
all
have
6 of us need to get together
Yeah.
again.
because we do organize stuff, so we should like put together a night class of 1988 and just see what we can get.
Yeah, absolutely. I went to my wife's uh, class reunion. It was in Oakland/Shiloh, and because it was Jim Means. I don't know if you remember Jimmy Means or not, but
Hmm.
Hmm.
um, he was very instrumental in putting that together. And
Yeah.
it just turns out that it was the first semi blizzard of the year.
Oh God.
Oh,
So yeah, only about 5 of us made it.
Sure.
So we all vowed to get together again this summer.
Yeah.
So she's actually going to have a class of 95 reunion again this summer, and I'm looking forward to that because
nice.
I know a lot of her Shiloh, a lot of kids that graduated because my youngest sister graduated in '94. So
Yeah. Well, we had that one 2 summers ago. Remember Melissa Turner and I? We messaged you and you're like, shoot, I didn't even know anything about it, but it was for the class of 1990.
and
And
that was at Courtney Porter's house.
was, yeah,
Yeah.
That's a mile from my house.
which is
Mile
crazy.
and a half. Yeah.
Dang.
I know.
Yeah.
And that was fun. I was the only one there from 1988. So, but
Well,
Melissa
I
was
would have helped you represent had I, yeah.
awesome. I knew you would have. So I
Maybe
was,
we can do that again.
yeah, we could do,
Make it worth it.
you know,
Yeah.
maybe 3 or 4 or at least
Mhm.
2 different, you know, years and just see who
Yeah.
show up because we all literally knew each other because there was what 100 people in the total high school. So
104, I think, our senior year or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
which is
And
crazy.
then my sister, the sister Stacy, you guys remember
Mhm.
Stacy?
Yep.
She's only a few miles from me as well.
Mhm.
So, you know, and she was only 2 years behind us in school.
Yeah.
She's got a beautiful family too, kids,
She does,
grandkids,
yes.
and yeah,
Yep.
Such a
very
cool
happy
girl.
for
So
her.
nice. You have to tell her we said hi. I'm friends with her on Facebook.
I'll do that. Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna make her watch this, of course, too.
You should.
Well, yes, of course.
So, yeah.
You should make her watch that. You
Yep.
should.
Well, she'll be a better person for it.
Right? And plus,
Yes.
she's your family, so she needs to know
Yes.
you.
We'll have to tag her in this.
We'll tag you, Bobby, and then all of your people will see it. Be
You
like,
can
Bobby's
share.
on the Twinster Pod.
There you go. There you go.
But
And,
yeah,
and I'll be honest with you. My favorite hobby is listen to podcasts.
really?
Yes. And of course, I was invited to be on one before and wasn't able to make it work, and before the podcast became defunct. But
Oh,
I'm glad that I was able to make this work. So
Yeah.
now I'm on my first podcast. But I'm a true crime person, and
there's lots of those. Yeah.
oh my goodness, yeah. And
Yeah.
I won't get into that's it's a crazy world out there. I'm glad I live in this little bitty piece of we don't our closest neighbor's a half a mile away. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
it is a whole lot of yes,
Twinster
ma'am.
Pod. That's not our pod. We pretty much just try to keep kind of light and fun. And you know, we've had Sheila Dillon. Sheila was on. I don't know if you saw
Yes.
that. Mm-hmm. So
And her boys, I'm real close to all of her sons. You know, they
Nice.
live nearby and we're all friends.
The
Nice.
good
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
amazing gentlemen. Yes, they
Yeah,
are. And,
they
and now
are.
they've all got babies of their own. And
Yeah.
oh my goodness, I don't know
We
how
shouldn't be
I'm.
that old.
No.
Here comes Perry. If you want to say hi to Perry and Stanley, we're still on live.
Oh,
Oh my
speaking of the
goodness.
famous one.
There's Perry.
Hi, Perry
Hello.
and Mr. Stanley. I feel like
Stanley.
I should, I don't know, bow or something with Stanley being on the screen.
That's what everybody says. They're like, we feel like
Oh,
you're a celebrity.
He knows. He
Yeah.
knows how famous he is, or infamous.
Absolutely infamous. Yes.
He's
Yes,
pretty
we
funny.
sure appreciate you sharing Stanley's story with us. That you need that on Facebook. There's so much.
Of course.
Yeah, there's so much other stuff that's not wonderful.
Yeah.
That, to see
And-
that.
And he's using his life to encourage other people and pray for people. And so, you know, he's an inspirational dog. I really believe it's coming from his heart, you know?
Yes, and I should mention my dog as well. We have an English bulldog, Nala, who is well, she exists. She's not. I don't want to say she's non-inspirational, but
no.
she's very non-athletic.
Yeah.
She's shaped like a barrel,
Mhm.
but she is very much loved.
Yeah, that's okay. She's loved.
And I
Yeah.
bet she's a happy dog.
She is. Yeah,
Mhm.
she gets her once a month. We have a mobile groomer in the area that comes around once a month and pampers her and gives her,
Yeah.
so
So cute.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, they just they're unconditional beings that they just love people. And
That's a fact.
I always say their only fault is that they just don't ever live long enough to be with us, you know? So-
Right. Well, the
Yeah.
reason why I believe that dogs don't live as long as we do is because there wouldn't be anybody around to explain to them where we went.
Yeah.
So we
Aw.
need
Yeah.
to outlive them
Now that makes me
Mhm.
because we can understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, they can't. So we need to outlive them. And
Yep.
so um,
I like that.
I also have a barn cat, and I've never been a fan of cats. Just being honest.
Yeah.
just
No, me neither. I'm
but-
allergic, so no problem.
Well, I am as well.
Yeah.
Mildly allergic though.
Yeah.
And our neighbor down the road has a dumpster business. And this kitten, it was just a small kitten, showed up, and she was afraid that it was going to get hauled off in a dumpster. And I don't blame her. And so she put it out there, asked if anybody would be interested. And me and Amy talked about it. And I'm like, well, we could use a barn cat, you know. Well, you don't just buy a cat or get a cat and put it in the barn, because you know you got to feed it, because you don't know that it's going to catch enough, you know. So we feed it every day, you know. We have water out there, and well, then it started getting cold, and I'm like, well, barn cats deserve warmth too. So we got on Amazon and bought it a heated house. So now we have a mini cat condominium that's heated in our barn. I just, when I said yes to a barn cat, I did not realize all that went with it.
It's
a bougie
barn cat. Yeah.
It is a bougie barn cat. Yes.
Bougie barn
That's
cat.
funny.
I love it.
And the granddaughters, mostly the granddaughters, the grandsons don't care so much, but the granddaughters are very happy that the barn cat exists now. So.
And that cat probably living a great life. So, you know.
Oh yeah. It certainly is. Yeah. And we visit it multiple times a day, and when we're out in the yard, it's out in the yard, and
that's fun.
You are kitty cats people.
Now I'm a cat person. Yeah. I'm a one cat guy though.
That's fine. One is all you need.
Yep. We also ride a motorcycle. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but
oh yeah. With your bandanas, you guys look so cool, and your bandanas on your motorcycle.
Well, I didn't look so cool a year and a half ago when I hit a deer doing 60 mile an hour on my motorcycle.
Yeah, that was the deer's fault.
It was, yeah. It wasn't around to apologize though, so I had to just live with that. But yeah, I hit a deer doing 60 mile an hour, and all I got was a broken ankle. So I was not riding alone that day, because
that's a miracle.
No helmet, no anything, just t-shirt, jeans, and boots. Slid a couple of 100 feet down the highway.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
it was terrifying, but it was over in a matter of a few seconds. I had a broken ankle, and that was it.
Yeah.
Just another story to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So think back to the Bob in high school and all the things you've been through now. That Bobby in high school would have been like, I just don't know if I can handle all of that, you know?
Well, the Bobby in high school didn't think he'd live to be 55 years old. So, So and then, I went through the cancer thing, the motorcycle wreck. So I'm living on extra time now.
You are.
Yeah. So I'm going to use my extra time wisely.
Yeah. Behave yourself.
Yeah.
No more. Okay, I didn't say that, but I am going to use it wisely.
There you go. Yeah, use it wisely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we always end our podcast, and Bobby, if you can get something off the cuff, you can, with funny memes, because that's just how we roll. Lorraine and I always tell people I'll send her very inappropriate memes that's true. Probably make our mom blush. We don't usually read those on air. We usually just share those with each other. So we bring clean ones to the podcast. But I brought one. Lorraine, do you have one?
Yeah, I've got one that's kind of goes along with him talking about it being him and Amy's, maybe their bowling days are coming to an end. So this kind of reminded me of that. It says, friend, take this pill. It'll make dancing way more fun. Me, no, I don't do that stuff anymore. Friend, it's ibuprofen. And that I get.
Yes.
And then we're just talking about dogs. My alarm clock is covered in fur, has 4 legs, a wet nose, and no snooze button. My dog gets me up early every day. She does not care what day of the week it is. She has a schedule.
Yeah.
But we would not trade her for the world. We have 2 fur babies and love them to pieces.
Yeah. She's your alarm clock. And then I got one because it's funny. To the people who lose one shoe on the side of the highway, please tell me what the rest of your life is like.
Right? Yeah, or the people that you see the one shoe hanging over the electrical wires, like
what happened? There's
Yeah.
a story. We need more information. We need more information.
I wouldn't mind hearing that story, but I don't think I'd want to be there to witness why those are where they're at.
No, probably
Yeah, I don't get it.
be a little freaky deaky.
Maybe you'll hear it on your true crime podcast someday, though, and you can let us know.
You might.
If I do, I will.
You might. We'll have to have them back on for a review.
Yes, and I'm surprised at how much true crime happens in our local area here. I know, Lorraine, that this is not now your local area, but you guys are all too familiar with how rural we are here.
Yeah.
But more often than not, stories from our local area pop up on there, and I'm always shocked to hear that they happened and we didn't know about it.
Yeah. They keep it
But most of them happened in a time when,
no
of course,
social media.
I'm thankful that we can have this podcast, but they happened in a time when we didn't know everything. And I kind of wish sometimes we didn't know everything.
Yeah. When you had to go to the library and look things up at the library where you couldn't.
I got most of my information from Reader's Digest. I used to read those things cover to cover.
Oh, I love Reader's Digest.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We're very similar. Bob, did you have anything funny you wanted to share before we end our podcast? You said you might think of something off the cuff.
Yes, and I don't know that I have. I don't know that I have something. You really put me on the spot here. I put myself on the spot, but
you might. If you don't, that's fine.
Well, I do think I want to take a moment just to thank you guys again for considering having me on your podcast, because that was a huge honor for me. Again, you two are somebody that I've always had mad respect for, and really appreciate how you guys have lived your lives, and people like you make me thankful for Facebook, because without Facebook I wouldn't know about Stanley and Lorraine's adventures in Texas and Idaho, and Perry's artwork, and so there are some things about Facebook to be thankful for, and technology. Exactly. But otherwise,
well, thanks for saying yes.
And of course, nobody else knows that Amy has had 15 conversations with me about how to get on this Zoom thing. But hey, you know what? She talked me through it, and with the help of her and my wife, spent 15 minutes in here getting things set up for me. So,
well, tell her thank you.
Yeah, I absolutely will.
Tell her
because
and thanks for your time, because I know it's taken time away from her as well, so we do appreciate that. Thank you.
She appreciates it too.
She's probably like taken for 2 hours.
Once a month.
You sure you don't need more time? But I'm sure with what you shared about your life, there has to be somebody I know that is going to be inspired and encouraged by what you shared. So we do appreciate you doing that. We hope that you enjoyed your time with us, and thank you for the compliments that you have given us. We feel the same. I mean, not everybody do I want to bring on from high school, because some of that stuff wasn't fun. Like what we shared that with, Sheila Dillon and Lorraine and I were some things, but what you go through, you grow through. And so, you are one of our best memories from Shiloh High School is Bob Michaels.
I thank you for that. And a lot of people still call me Bobby. You can tell if somebody's known me for 20 years or 40 years.
Yeah.
Because I do still, and then a lot of my family and stuff still call me Bobby. But and I've been called much, much worse, so I would have answered either of those anytime.
Same either.
But I have really enjoyed this, and I have a horrible confession to make. And one time, at some time we'll get together, I looked at our class picture, because we have it on Facebook and stuff. I can't name everybody.
Yeah.
From our senior class, and we had 20 people.
Yeah.
Well, you said you were going through things. Your life wasn't always the best, and not everybody has the same experience in high school, so that's okay. Really, it's okay. we're just glad, you've come through all of that and through a lot more, and you're where you're at now. And I know there's going to be lots of people from Shiloh, hopefully, that watch this and, are excited to catch up and hear what you've been through and where you've been. And that was just our big point, just, to reconnect with people that we met a long time ago and let people hear where you're at.
Well, I really appreciate it, and I look forward to getting to see you ladies in person. So
Same.
Yes, I
thanks
would love
again
that
for
too.
having me on. I really, really appreciate it.
We'll have to get a
Yeah.
reunion conversation going, and hopefully we can get something going in the next year or so.
Yes,
Yeah,
if I
that
can
would
be
be
of any
nice.
assistance, please reach out. I know a couple people, so
Absolutely. Yes, I will be reaching out because between you and we about know everybody, Bob. So.
and I've been surprised, and I don't mean to drag this out for you guys, but I've been surprised that some of the people that I meet in my later years, and then I'll see them on Facebook, and I look, and they're friends with Amy Probst, or
Yeah,
they're friends with Lorraine Hermes.
Mhm.
I'm like, how, there's no connection. There
yeah,
should be no, but somehow there's a connection.
we do.
I feel like Kevin Bacon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 degrees of
6 degrees.
Yeah, between the three of us, we probably we know everybody on Facebook. So
Right. Yeah, somebody was giving me crap because I have 1,700 friends. I'm like, I know everybody on my Facebook page. I can tell you who they are
yeah,
and where I know them from.
yeah.
That's impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't remember what happened yesterday, but I do remember that. Yeah, I don't know. I just
Take
when
some
people impact
ibuprofen.
you,
You're a
when
social
people
butterfly.
impact your life in some way, shape, or form, you have a way to tuck them back in there, and
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, Bob, we appreciate you coming on. We thank you for your time. And like we always end our podcast, we hope we made you smile. We hope we made you laugh.
you
And we
did.
really do hope we inspired somebody out there to keep on keeping on. So thank you very much.
And thank you both. And it was nice talking to you. Very, very, very nice talking to you.
Absolutely.
Same to
Absolutely.
you.
We will see you next time on our next podcast.